So now let's review what happened this past week, starting with Adam and the World of Football Scoreboard.
That's right, and we also do have some breaking news, which we'll get to in the news segment. Your rundown is already shot. With rosters getting shuffled, we're recording early in the morning. A lot of stuff, and I'm saying something big. And I mean, your jaw's gonna drop when you hear this news. Okay. And we'll get to it after the scoreboard, which starts with the CFL and Week 4, and that's how you do a transition. The Toronto Argonauts and the Edmonton Elks were supposed to play for us on Thursday night, but unfortunately, because of a COVID outbreak, I believe with the Elks, the game has gotten canceled. No word on if it'll be rescheduled or how that's going to work right now. Especially with this already shortened CFL season, I don't know where they're going to find time to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Teams might have to lose a couple of bye weeks at some point. So
yeah, they're trying to reschedule. I haven't heard yet when they're going to reschedule that, but they do. They are trying to reschedule.
Yeah, but let's move on to the teams that actually played this week. Friday night, you had the Hamilton Tiger Cats just totally dismantle the Montreal Alouettes. 27-10. That's the first win of the season for the Ticats. It was the home opener for Montreal. And how about this? Hamilton quarterback Dane Evans, who started for the injured Jeremiah Masoli, was 15-22 for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then he ran in a third. So not a bad little game. I mean, You look at the basic, the 183 yards. It's like, that ain't much. But I mean, when you throw 2 touchdowns and you run for the third one, that's pretty impressive.
That's 21 points.
Right. Now, how about running back Sean Thomas Erlington, who ran 10 times for 73 yards and a touchdown? But his big highlight, though, was he totally just leapt over a guy. It was fantastic. I saw that
late in the game.
Hurdled it. It was a great little play. I mean, he got hurdled the guy, went a little ways, and I believe he got knocked out of bounds.
Got about another 10 yards after he hurdled the guy.
So that's pretty good. I used to not like seeing guys hurdle dudes because, you guys are going to get hurt. But when they pull it off, it's so cool.
On the CFL website, they had a rundown of the top 5 plays of the weekend. That play was number 1 of him hurdling.
Yeah, I watched the top plays. A lot of good plays this week in the CFL. Yeah. Then how about this? Wide receiver Stephen Dunbar for the Ticats caught 6 passes for 95 yards and a touchdown. So not a bad game if you're the Ticats. Hey, getting in the win column finally, and I believe that's the last team to get their win. So now everybody in the CFL's at least got a win going into the next week. Yep. All right. The British Columbia Lions defeated the Ottawa Red Blacks 24-12. British Columbia quarterback Mike Riley was 23 of 32 for 301 yards and a touchdown. Running back Shaquille Cooper ran 14 times for 71 yards, and wide receiver Javon Katoy caught 5 passes for 93 yards and a touchdown. So British Columbia, they've kind of been up and down. I know they're at 500 now, but you don't really know which team's going to show up. But that defense, again, holding the Red Blacks to only 12 points. So that British Columbia defense, nothing to sneeze at right now.
If you can get production from your run game, from your pass game, from your quarterback, with his legs, with his arm, you're doing pretty good. You're probably going to win the game. And that's what's happening.
I just think, I know it's early in the season, and they always do their rankings. I think British Columbia might be a team to watch out for later on this year. I know it's early. I just really like that British Columbia defense. Every time I see them play, I just feel like ever since the second half of that first game, that defense has just been awesome.
You're just waiting for British Columbia to pull out those helmets that you like.
I do.
Kind of remind you of the Michigan Panthers.
It's going to be a while, probably. I wish they'd go back to. I do like that helmet too. All right, then we actually had a Sunday game. This is weird. So you had a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. We should have had 4 days in a row. Thanks, Edmonton.
Well,
I know it's not really their fault, but I mean, it happens.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah, thanks, COVID. You ruined everything. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers survived the Calgary Stampeders in an 18-16 final score. Man, what a close game this ended up being. And it was a little back and forth, too. The momentum shifts were just dramatic there.
I watched most of the second half, and it was all back and forth all game long.
Winnipeg kicker Mark Leggio kicked the game winner with 37 seconds left. And then on the other side of the ball, Calgary's kicker Rene Paredes missed from 52 yards as time expired. So, boy.
They had a chance to pull it out.
Chance, and, hey, it happened. That's football for you. Sometimes, it just a 52-yard field goal. I mean, it ain't no sure thing. Nope. How How about Winnipeg quarterback Zach Collaros, who was 16 of 25 for 243 yards. Then running back Andrew Harris ran 17 times for 81 yards and a touchdown. And then receiver Rashid Bailey caught 4 passes for 108 yards.
4 passes for 108 yards.
That's pretty good.
That's production.
That's over 25 yards per catch right there. Yeah. That's pretty good. And then for Calgary, how about rookie quarterback Jake Mayer, who was 30 of 39 for 309 yards in just his second game. So he's really stepped up in lieu of Bo Levi Mitchell in his injury. And I know, Calgary's 1-3 right now, but I like to see this Mayer kid. He can sling the ball. I've liked watching him a lot.
Yeah, well, they were down by, at the end, with 37 seconds left, he worked their way down the field. He put him in a position to win the game. Yeah. So the kicker just came up a little bit short on his field goal. Otherwise, we'd be talking about, 2 weeks in a row that he's led his team to wins. And, what was he, 30 of 39 passes for 309 yards? That's a great day
and
for
when
a rookie
when you're throwing that much, you're afraid of eventually, the odds and the numbers would tell you an interception's at some point going to happen. But man, for those 9 incompletion, just 9 incompletions out of the 39, that's still pretty crazy. To not turn the ball over was pretty astounding for a rookie, especially.
Those were good stats. Those were comparable to his stats last week.
Yeah, we liked him last week. I like him this week.
Yep, he did a great job, and
they just couldn't pull the win out.
Didn't work out. Yep.
And then on bye this week, officially on bye, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who will play their next game at home against Winnipeg. So that should be an interesting game. Probably the 2 top teams in the CFL right now going head-to-head next week, especially to try to get a nice lead in that CFL West Division, which we're going to go down the standings right now in that West Division. You have Saskatchewan, who is on bye, obviously, at 3-0, followed by Winnipeg at 3-1, British Columbia in the middle spot with a 2-2 record, and then Edmonton in the 4th spot at 1-2, and Calgary rounding out the West with a 1-3 record.
Every one of those teams has a different record.
Yeah.
Just based on the number of games they played and the bye weeks and everything, everybody has a completely different record in that conference.
Yep. So then back into the East Division. The Toronto Argonauts sit at the top right now at 2-1, along with Hamilton, followed by Ottawa and Montreal, all at 1-2. Yep. So a little closer there in the West. All of them have only played 3 games,
right?
But
well, we got 4 teams in the East, so it's a little more.
It is always weird. I'm waiting for those Atlantic Schooners. Dang it! I'm waiting for the Schooners to get put into the league.
Maybe in a year or so.
Maybe in a year or so. But now let's talk some playoffs. Are you ready to talk some playoffs?
Playoffs? Yeah, let's talk some playoffs.
Okay, let's talk some playoffs because the Indoor Football League, it's round 1 of their playoffs. We had 4 games all weekend, all of them entertaining to different degrees. And we'll start off with the first game. The number 2 ranked Massachusetts Pirates defeated the number 7 Bismarck Bucks in embarrassing fashion, 44-19. I feel bad for the Bucks, but the Pirates, we talked about them for several weeks now, jumping over from the NAL, and they're just putting a stamp on this league.
Yeah, they're peaking at the right time. They've won like 8 in a row going into the playoffs. So watch out for the Pirates.
Watch out for the Pirates. And then moving on, the Frisco Fighters that were ranked number 3 going into the playoffs. They defeat the number 6 Spokane Shock 44-33. Only 11-point win, but a win's a win. And, we're pulling for Clint Dolezal, the head coach of the Fighters, down there in Frisco.
Yeah, we'll see him get to the championship game.
Then Saturday, what a game Saturday, because the number 5 seed, Duke City Gladiators, squeaked by and upset the number 4 ranked Iowa Barnstormers 34-33 on the last play of the game. Who could have predicted that, Randy? Who could have?
You.
You're dang right I could have.
Yeah,
and I did.
did. You predicted that last week.
I did predict that.
You said that Duke City was going to upset.
Of all the matchups, that was the one I was like, this could be close. Kind of looking at some of their numbers, and, it's a 5 and a 4. That's the most obviously evenly matched game, technically, just based on record. And I just didn't think I would play that great lately. And for whatever reason, Duke City, I was just like, I could see him winning. And guess what? Adam was right for once. So
yeah, for once.
For once. And then finally, the number 1 ranked Arizona Rattlers defeated the number 8 seed Sioux Falls Storm 69-42. This was also a rematch of the 2019 United Bowl.
Yeah, no surprise that Arizona.
No, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought maybe Arizona would run away with this a little further, but I mean, only a 27-point win, but still, I thought maybe it'd be like it would look more like the Massachusetts Pirates score, where it would be like 44-19 or 60 something to 20. Like I was really expecting Arizona to really blow the doors off them. I mean, they blew the doors off of them, but I was just expecting like the wolf blowing down the house made of straw kind of situation.
I fully expect Arizona to be in the championship game.
Oh year. Yeah. So speaking of championship, they got one more game to go before we figure out who will play in that 2021. They call it the United Bowl, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, the 2021 United Bowl. So in the semifinal round on Saturday, you're gonna have the Frisco. Is that the matchup? I thought they were both on Saturday.
No, one Saturday, one Sunday, from what I saw.
Okay, well, the number 1 seed Arizona Rattlers will host the number 5 seed Duke City Gladiators, and then the number 2 seed Massachusetts Pirates will host the number 3 seed Frisco Fighters this weekend. You can check out their YouTube channel. They live stream their games, so good for. I mean, I like when I can get a chance to watch some of their streams. I think they do a decent job, putting those out there.
These both should be really good games.
They should be. I don't know if Duke City could pull out the upset, but I think that Frisco, Massachusetts game, that is the game you're going to want to watch.
Yeah.
Because Frisco was kind of the number 2 seed for a while there towards the end of the season, and just because they lost one game, that kind of pushed Massachusetts up. So I'm very curious to see this game. And with it being in Massachusetts, you got to lean towards the Pirates. Making it to the United Bowl in their first season in the Indoor Football League.
Have that home crowd behind them. We'll see what happens.
Yep. And now we're going to throw it over. So this is something we haven't done in a long time. Throwing it over to you for the scoreboard because guess what? College football is back, baby.
Yeah, it's week 0 in college football, but
dumb name, but I'm just glad college football is back.
The games still count. It's not like preseason or anything. We had a matchup in the Big Ten. Illinois holds off Nebraska 30-22. And we had Frisco State shutting out UConn 45-0. That's a surprising score, 45-0.
Yeah, I mean, well, hold on, you're getting way ahead of us right now. You're not even going to talk about Illinois in that Nebraska game at all. Like, did you watch any of that game?
I did not. No. No,
wow.
I really didn't.
So okay,
there's too much football.
I feel bad for the guy doing the graphics right now because we've had to jump back to the Nebraska game, but. The Illinois, I mean, it was pretty back and forth there, and for a while there, neither of these teams looked good. I don't think they're going to be good going down the stretch, but Illinois, finally pulled away from Nebraska. It looked like they were going to handle Nebraska pretty well, but then Nebraska slowly started coming back and making that fourth quarter pretty interesting. They got within 8 points there at the end. They missed a field goal that would have put them down 7, and then even with a minute left, they got the ball back. They threw an interception, to finally seal up the game, but. It was still an entertaining game. I'm just a little disappointed you didn't get to.
Well, I know it was reshown a few times on ESPN.
And you couldn't even look at that?
No, I was too busy.
What do you do for a living? Nothing but this podcast.
I'm retired.
Exactly. So why aren't you watching more football?
I write the words that are coming out of your mouth.
That's not true. I write the own words that come out of my mouth.
Let's see. Moving on to some more scores. UCLA defeated Hawaii 44-10.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the play where the guy hurdled the dude?
No.
There was another good hurdling play, and I think that one was almost as impressive, if not a little more impressive than the CFL one.
There was a game in the NFL, preseason game, where somebody hurdled somebody else too.
A Lions player, I believe, hurdled somebody.
That's right.
But we're not talking about the Lions right now. We're talking about college football.
Let's see what else. UTEP over New Mexico State, 30-3. San Jose State over an FCS team, Southern Utah, 45-14. There was a clash of HBCU schools. It was North Carolina Central over Alcorn State, 23-14. There was also a matchup of FCS teams where Indiana State defeated Eastern Illinois, 26-21. And there was actually a Division II game also. Kentucky State over Capital State of Ohio, 20-6.
Central State.
What did I say?
You said Capital State.
Sorry, Central State.
And I'm looking at your own notes that you say you yourself write down, and the words come out of your mouth. But guess what? You wrote it down, and that word did not come out of your mouth.
That's true.
From Ohio.
When I was checking the NCAA website for scores, there was a Division III game.
I saw that too.
But there was no score attached to it, so I didn't put it on here.
It happens.
I don't know if it got canceled or. What happened there?
We can only do so much. If a division or if a league isn't going to put up accurate scores in a timely fashion for us to record this podcast, well then Sorry, guys.
That's right.
We try to get everybody included, and then that's it for this week's World of Football Scoreboard.
All right.